Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Welcome to the podcast and posse, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. I'm your host, Tiffany, and I am here today to get your asses unstuck. You know how many times I hear that line from so many of you? You're just feeling stuck, you have a block, some kind of thing. The first tip to getting unstuck and not sure where to begin and out of confusion and getting clarity is to stop telling yourself that you're fucking stuck. It is an easy thing to say, probably because we also pick up on hearing it from other people in our lives who say it. It certainly does feel like we're stuck or blocked when our brain isn't really functioning, when we're not sure what to do because there's no motion. We're not being productive. We don't feel like we're making any steps towards our goals. So it's like, I must be stuck. Well, let's look at it a different way. Number one, if we keep telling ourselves the same thing over and over again, even if it's for a day or a week or whatnot, or a lifetime with some people, it's going to end up becoming true. This is proven over and over again, and there's even medical studies on this. So we got to stop saying that. So every time you hear yourself saying like, I'm stuck, I'm confused, I'm torn. That's another one I hear. I'm torn. I have a block, writer's block, creative block, energy block, something like that. Have that be a cue for you to say something different back. Just say, you know what? Scratch that. That's not the case. I'm processing right now. So just use that instead. I'm processing right now. I'm all about replacing things and shifting our mindset, but it has to be in using things our brain will believe. So I do not like using affirmations that are not believable, like if you are unhealthy as hell and you're overweight and you're out of shape and you're telling yourself, I'm as fit as a bikini model and I'm slender, long, and lean, your brain's going to go, girl, you're full of shit. You just ate a whole bag of chemical-laden Doritos, washed it down with a Diet Coke because at least it was diet, and you're pinning different exercises on Pinterest, making yourself feel like you're going to do something about it tomorrow, and you're not going to. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't work. So you need to say things like, when you go, I'm feeling stuck. I'm not sure where to begin in my business. I don't know where to start. That's not true. Insert your name. Talk to yourself. That's not true, Tina. That's not true, Tiffany. What we're doing right now is we're processing. So I'd rather you use that word because guess what? That's the truth. You actually are processing. You have a lot of different emotions going on. You are being inundated with information because you probably are seeking information. That's what most people do when they don't know where to start, what to do next, and they're confused. We start seeking information, external validation, people's opinions, advice, commentary. So we're on, Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Pinterest, we're on Google, we're on YouTube, looking at all the things. And then we end up getting inundated with more information, opinions, input. And then that just makes us more stuck and more confused, because now all that's swirling around in our brain, along with what's already beneath all of this, which is our resistance and fear to whatever it is we're trying to achieve. When you peel back all of these layers, you guys, what's behind the stuck feelings, the confused feelings, the block statements, what is behind all that when you really strip it all away? Is you are having resistance, which resistance is fear. You are having fear about going forward with whatever thing it is. Finally, ripping off the Band-Aid and going all in on your business. Pressing play on your first podcast episode. Starting to write that book. Put out that post. Start that Instagram channel. Make that product. Get those t-shirts made. Set up your Amazon store. Really go after and build your network marketing business, whatever the hell it is. Go after a new career. Maybe it's going back to school because you really want to now be in a medical profession for whatever reason. Okay. So it's a fear that is underneath all of it. Otherwise, if you weren't afraid and you knew it was something for your greatest good and the greatest good of all, and it was something you were meant to do, and you have a driving desire in your heart and soul to do it, then it would just be simple. You just do the damn thing. It would just be simple. As long as you had the strategy. I mean, you guys know I'm a top business coach. I strategize with corporations. I strategize with brand new entrepreneurs, experienced entrepreneurs, all day long. I always say you can't out-strategize a shitty mindset, and you can't out-strategize a scared mindset. I can give you the exact steps, literally. You need to do this, you need to do this, you need to watch out for this. And then I ask you, of course, how does this feel to you? You have these options that I can tell you will work for your business. Which one feels best, right? I give you multiple choice. These are the pros and cons of each. This is the benefit of obviously hiring a very experienced coach who's done this a long time, because I do know what works and what doesn't. I'm not like God, of course, and it has to also feel right to you. But what I can't do is, if your mindset stays in a fear mindset, if your mindset stays in a shit mindset, none of the strategy I give you is going to work, because you're not going to follow through and do the stuff that's required. You're not going to do the itty bitty daily stuff. You're not going to do the big stuff. You're just not going to do it. You're going to put it off. You're going to put it off. You're going to find reasons. You're not going to do it. I mean, I have many clients who are late in getting me their homework that they're assigned. I have been given many excuses as to why homework's not done. I have been told they forgot. They don't remember me telling them that. All the same stuff that, teachers get with like 15-year-olds. I hear all of those things. And that's obviously a big clue and a trigger for me that we need to do some mindset work here. That's why with what I do, I integrate mindset always with strategy. You cannot have one without the other. Mindset is like stretching at the gym. Most people avoid it until they've been fucked by it. And then once they've been fucked by it, they're like, I have to go stretch. And they stretch for like 20 minutes. By the way, that'd be me. Fun fact. In addition to losing almost everything I had, which was $1 million, by the time I was 30, I also ruptured my S1, L5 doing kickboxing. And I was the person who showed up probably hungover to the gym. I wore sunglasses in my group exercise classes. Yes, that was me. And I didn't stretch. I ran into the class like it was right when it, first started. And if the instructor had a stretching as part of like the intro of the class, then I did it. If not, I went right into it. Yeah. So I had emergency spine surgery. That was really fun. But that's also where the idea for Project Me was born, that was the first time I slowed down and was still my entire life up until that point. And when you have spine surgery, you are not allowed to actually even sit up. You can't drive a car. You can't sit in a chair for 6 weeks. So can you imagine? But I did have some pretty heavy medication. So that did make for interesting conversations. How am I on this topic when we're talking about being stuck? I have no idea. I don't even know where I got here. Let's get back on track, people. Back on track. So you cannot have one without the other. Oh, I know how I got on there, because I said mindset works like stretching at the gym. Yeah, until you pay a price for it, and until you really realize it, then you'll realize that mindset is actually number one. You have that shit right. Then you pair it with a winning strategy. You're golden. I work on my mindset, no joke, all day long, every single day. Some days are easier than others. Some weeks are easier than others. Right now, given the timing of everything, there is a lot of mindset stuff going on in my world. A lot of mindset stuff going on, and a lot of processing going on. But I do not tell myself the lie that I'm stuck, I'm confused. I don't even tell myself that I'm unmotivated, because if I tell myself that long enough, I become unmotivated, even if it's for a day. I go back to, I am processing, because that really is what we're doing, and then we can dig deeper. So if you don't even know where to begin in going after building your business, building your second business, starting some other thing you want to start, starting a new thing, going into a different career, even whether or not you should pursue entrepreneurship or network marketing or whatever the hell it is. If you're not sure where to begin, I need you to get out of that state. If you stay in that I'm not sure state, which you're telling yourself, you're signaling your whole system, I'm confused, you're in a rocking chair and you're moving and you're not going anywhere. You're expending a lot of energy and making zero progress, zero momentum forward whatsoever. I would rather see you venting about it to someone and crying over it and journaling over it, because at least then something's coming out of this. But staying in that state of I'm not sure and telling other people I'm not sure, well, isn't that a great fucking excuse to not begin? Because who's going to say back to you, aside from, if you're working with someone like me or you say it to me, who is going to say back to you and call you out saying, no, that's not true. You've been not sure how to begin now for like 3 years. I'm not buying it. Almost no one. It's a built-in excuse that most people will say, oh, I'm sure you'll figure it out, or why don't you Google it? Or then there's other people who will offer you their advice. And what did I say at the beginning? When you're in that state of confusion, not being sure, you're welcoming in all these opinions, all this advice, all this info. It just makes you more overwhelmed. Then you get paralyzed. Then you do nothing. Who can relate? Take a screenshot right now of listening to this episode, and I'm going to want you to share it in your Instagram, Facebook stories, and tag me. I need you to let me know by posting this that you needed to get this loving kick in the butt today, because these are stories you're actually telling yourself. It is far, far safer to our egos, to our inner children, to the scared side of us, to stay in research mode, confused mode, stuck mode, than it is to take the risk and do the damn thing. And then just to press play, to press record, to submit, to post, to ask for the business, to ask for the sale, to ask for the job, whatever it is. To ask someone to promote you, to ask for help, to hire the coach. I mean, if you're not sure what to do and you've been there long enough and you've not asked someone who is qualified to help you for help, you're full of shit. And I'm telling you this to wake you up, because that is, part of my job here last time I checked. It's if I kept saying to myself, I'll give an example. there was a point with my the illness that I had adrenal insufficiency. So it's a severe form of adrenal fatigue. I took action. I didn't sit there and going, why am I feeling like this? I'm so confused. What's going on with my body? I'm so stuck. Yeah, some of those thoughts came up, but I took fucking action. I went to doctor after clinician after clinician. And guess what? It was a crazy ride. I mean, they ended up putting me on Adderall, by the way, because that's what they thought the problem was. Can you picture me on Adderall? A hardcore Virgo on Adderall. It was a mood, people. That's a whole nother episode. I don't know. Maybe I've done an episode on it. I don't remember at this point. After 180 some episodes. I should, though. Wow, was that a ride? What was my point? I love how I go off on these tangents and then I don't remember what my point was. Is this like, am I entering like my senior years early? Like what's happening with me? I have no idea. What was my point? Here's my example. So I could have gone into a form of victim mode, which everyone would have, by the way, understood, validated. I could have said, oh my God, they put me on this. I went to this doctor and that doctor. I mean, I'm not joking. I went to 8 different doctors. You know, I could have gone down the whole path and been like, I guess this is my lot in life. No. I was not going to take that. Now, did I have moments of really feeling sorry for myself and being really depressed and upset? You're damn right I did. But then I started going, you know what? I'm going to look to other people try to find other people who are experiencing this. There's no way I'm alone. There's way too many people in the world. And I went on Instagram and I started typing in the search my symptoms. Then I started typing in what I thought I had based on all of my Googling. And I ended up finding my health coach that way. But I had to be willing to keep searching and I had to be willing to ask for help. So what? I found her. I found her, I listened to her podcasts, I read all of her stuff. But it's like, okay, that's great. And that was helpful. That was taking action. But I had to ask for help. No one could make me ask for help. I had to ask for help and I paid her for it. I had to be willing to do both. And I did. And thank God I did. Right? So you have to be willing to get out of that space. And the way out of that space is by taking action. And seems like that is a very far spread, like an 800-mile gap between feeling stuck, confused, not sure where to begin, to taking action. It is better to rip the Band-Aid off. This is a rip the Band-Aid situation. With my private clients, there's people we have to slowly rip the Band-Aid off, but they're being held so accountable by me that we can do that process. But you're doing this on your own. And truly, in my opinion, the most effective way is ripping off the Band-Aid. Do the damn thing. Who cares? Just do it, because staying in this state of stuck isn't getting you anywhere. And it's not doing anything for you. And then it brings about shame because you should be doing something and you could be doing more, but you're really not. And you're staying in the same spot. So now you're going to be in the same spot a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now. How is that going to feel? You're going to feel shame, self-judgment. You're going to be mad at yourself. That is a far worse feeling than just taking the damn leap. And it's not like you're not taking a leap with you're taking a leap. It's not like you're taking a leap off of a mountain without a parachute. I mean, that's like a real crazy leap. I'm not telling you to quit your job and have no backup plan. That's also a crazy leap, in my opinion. There's a lot of people out there teaching that, like, if you hate your job, just quit and be an entrepreneur. And it's like, okay, well, I don't know about you, but there was no one in my life who was going to pay my bills, and there would have been a serious problem if I did that. So I'm not telling you guys to do something Cracker Barrel like that. I'm saying rip the Band-Aid off, write the post, create the Instagram account, start your podcast, start writing that book, right? Launch whatever it is you have to launch. Is it private coaching? Is it a course? Is it your network marketing business? Is it you want to have an online store? Take daily action. I don't care if it's a baby step. I don't care if it's a micro baby step. I would rather you take a micro baby step every single day than sitting in the I'm stuck, I don't know where to begin zone, because you are absolutely doing nothing than burning and wasting energy. You're just throwing money. Picture yourself just throwing $100 bills out the window, throwing $100 bills, throwing $100 bills. That's what you're doing, staying in that zone. Versus you taking at least these micro steps. You start adding up the micro steps. Now you can actually move the needle and get somewhere. I had a lot of resistance to starting ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, and here I was a successful entrepreneur. But it's different because this was a personal brand. I would be the face of the brand. It was a whole nother situation. You should have seen the resistance I gave. For me, even my lie, aside from the whole, I need the top of the line iMac lie. My other lie was having to have a logo. Oh my God. First of all, you guys do not have to have a logo to really start making money in your business. And you're like, what? You actually don't. It's just another crazy lie we tell ourselves. And if you really feel you need to have a logo, maybe the logo is your brand, meaning like, you're creating a clothing line or something like that. All right, well, go on Canva and create a logo. That's what my coach said to me. She said, this was my health coach saying it, not even my business coach. My health coach said to me, well, I want you by the next time we talk to at least make a logo on Canva. And I was like, I don't know how to do Canva. I'm not tech savvy, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to pay for a platform I won't use. I had all sorts of excuses, but I'm someone where if I promise someone something, I'm all about delivering, because my number one core value for me and for my company is integrity. So accountability works really, really well for me, even if I'm being accountable to God. Recently this week, last week, actually, when you guys are listening to this, I was not making myself accountable to anyone else other than God and myself. And that was enough for me. But that wouldn't have worked for me. 3 years ago, wouldn't have worked for me. No, it works for me today. I've done a lot of deep, deep work. 3 years ago, I would have been like, oh, well, God will forgive me. God forgives all sins. I would have come up with some other story. So I'm able to be self-accountable now, which is, obviously the holy grail, but, it took me a lot of work to get there. And for bigger things, I don't set myself up for failure. I set myself up for success. I make sure that I have a coach who holds me accountable. I have a trusted friend who holds me accountable, and myself and God. So I want you guys to have someone that is going to hold you accountable. And I don't want you to set yourself up for failure by saying, I have to write the first draft of my book by the time this quarantine's over. It's like, okay, calm your tits. That's going way too far. It's a setup for failure. You're going into it. You'll go into a shame hit right there with that, because that won't happen. The likelihood of it happening is slim. So let's not do that. Let's set yourself up for success and say maybe the first 3 chapters, and that you are going to dedicate 45 minutes every day to writing. And you need to share that with a trusted friend, and you ask them to hold you accountable. This doesn't mean they're your therapist, they're your teacher, they're your coach, but you're asking for them to hold you accountable. And you need to tell them what that looks like for you, what would help you, and if they're willing to do it. Because some people might not be willing to do it. Some people aren't capable of holding someone accountable because they're afraid of confrontation. So I need you guys to do that. This is why typically have someone I'm paying that I have them hold me accountable. Number one, money is such a powerful currency that the fact I'm spending money makes me accountable because I'm not about to waste money. But there are a lot of people who I've coached who pay me a lot of money who still blow off their homework. So the money thing is not enough. The fear trumps money. Let me tell you, fear can trump money. Fear trumps promises to God. Fear can really, really take you out. But if you truly want to make that, so to speak, 800-mile leap from feeling stuck, not knowing where to begin, confused, to doing the damn thing, it's in those micro baby steps. And even in those micro baby steps, I want you to be accountable. Even if you take, I'll show it on my Instagram stories, but of course I bought an office supply, but I bought a wall monthly calendar. It's very, very pretty. And it's purple. And it has a gold outline around the edge. Winning. I bought that for myself so that every month I can have that calendar taped to my wall. And then I'm going to put in the calendar certain deadlines for myself, due dates, etc. So it is glaringly large in front of me. It's not in my electronic calendar. It's not even in my paper, planner that's to the left of me right now, because right now that's covered up with a protein bar wrapper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 bills, my phone, and some little booklet and a whole slew of pens. So I wouldn't see it anyway, because my desk is a hot freaking mess right now. I mean, it is. You guys would see my desk and be like, I thought Virgos were organized. No, we want to be organized and we love things organized. That doesn't mean we know how to do it. So I want it to be just like I have a whiteboard that I put my notes on when I'm doing my podcasts or my lives. I put key notes of what I want to say, key points I want to make, things like that, where I can see that from here. But my whiteboard's not big enough to make this monthly calendar. So I just bought one. I wasn't going to print one off online because it wasn't going to print big enough. I need one for the back of the door that I can see right now, looking at the back of my door where it's so big, I could actually read what's being written in there for that month. And the fact I'm writing it, of course, in a wide array of colorful Sharpies, the fact I'm writing it in there will hold me accountable. The fact it's visible to other people that come into my office, whether they give a shit or not, and it holds me accountable in some way. Because God sees all and God will see my calendar. That holds me accountable in some way. I could even take a picture of this calendar and share it on social media and make myself accountable to all of you. But this is something I wanted to share as an extra way to make you accountable. And then every single day you can go in with great pride and in a different colored Sharpie or whatever design you want to make, almost like an Instagram grid, and you put an X through that day to acknowledge, I made my micro step today. I did it. I made my micro step. You can do this for any of your goals. This could be a fitness goal. This could be some other health goal. This could be for a meditation goal. This could be for, mindset work, trauma healing. It could be for literal stretching, obviously growing your business, getting out of debt. There's tons of, this could be for anything. Could be for your relationship. And the amount of satisfaction you're going to get from crossing out a big X, because I want you to get a big ass calendar for that day. And if you're like, girl, I'm so broke, I can't afford a calendar, or not any office supply stores are open right now. I couldn't believe there was one open. You could imagine my excitement. Then fine. Then you can get creative and you can make one. I have the world's worst handwriting, so I didn't want to make one. But you can make one. So don't let that stand in your way. And don't start saying you're stuck and you don't know where to begin with a calendar either, because I can't. And then now you've gone too far with me. Then I don't know what to do with you then. All right. So I want you guys to try this. I would love to see a picture. You can DM it to me at ProjectME with Tiffany if you don't want to send it publicly yet, or you can also share it publicly and tag me. In this way, you're holding yourself accountable by sharing and encouraging other people to hold themselves accountable. But when you cross off that big X for that day and no, I did my micro step for today. I moved the needle. I didn't just stay stuck. I didn't just stay and I'm not sure what to do land. It's so satisfying. Now, if you didn't do it that day, don't put the X. You don't get to put the damn X. You don't get the gold star, and don't put it. And I'm not saying that for you to shame yourself. I'm saying that for you to hold yourself accountable. We're humans. You're going to have some days where you don't do it. You don't do shit. And it's okay. But be honest with yourself about it. And you don't get to put the X. You don't get to put the sticker just so you can see it. Because then after a few weeks, and even then when you keep doing this for a few months, you'll start to notice a pattern. And that's going to the next level. You'll start noticing a pattern. Do you start blowing off your action items, your micro steps? Are you blowing those off, it seems like, every Friday and Monday? Or do you blow them off every Wednesday? Or are you blowing them off every other week? What's going on those weeks? What's happening? And you can start assessing and seeing your own patterns, where if we try to keep track of stuff in our head and tell ourselves we'll keep track of stuff in our head, no, doesn't happen. That's a setup for self-sabotage. So I hope you loved that tip. If you love this episode, you found it was a helpful, loving kick in the butt, do me a favor, take a screenshot, share it on social media, tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany so that other people can experience the show and get the help that they so need and deserve. Also, if you guys want to get exclusive weekly tips, strategy, mindset exercises, loving Tiff style kicking your butt reminders direct to your email box, I want you to go to projectmewithtiffany.com/secret posse. projectmewithtiffany.com/secret posse. This is my email list where once a week, that's it, you're going to get an email, and it's the only place I share these exclusive tips, strategies, mindset exercises, and things in there, of course, to make you laugh, because boring of anything really, really doesn't work for me. And you will also be the first to know of any events, any programs, anything I release, and also the first to be able to get bonuses, discounts, all the things. So get in there, projectmewithtiffany.com/secret posse. And I look forward to seeing you all in there. And I will talk to you all soon. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.